Hey guys, in this video I show you how I build this top. We put solar panels on it, lights on the inside. Man, this thing works out great. Stick around, you'll see how we did it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to see more like it.
Hey, what's up guys? Heading down to Fort Pierce. Me and my buddy AJ going to pick up the Nidacore for the top. Got to get that top built because I got the solar panels in yesterday. Getting her done.
So every time I go to Fort Pierce, this place is on the way. Man, if you're ever in Fort Pierce, do yourself a favor. Go check this place out. For the boater, it's pure heaven.
How you doing today?
Good, buddy. You?
Good.
So guys, the cool thing about this place is they have plenty of stuff new, but they have a lot of used stuff or stuff that was surplus, and you can find things here that you can't find anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is leave this on the end of the video because I know not everybody wants to watch this, but so you can see the walkthrough, because you can give this place a call, and if it's some hard part that you can't find, I bet you $1 they got it. So this is one of the reasons I came here, is for the 1-inch stainless steel here for the top. And let me tell you, it's $4.95 a foot here, and I haven't found it around Tampa less than about $9.95. After our stop in there, we had to grab us a little bit of lunch. This place is called Krabby's, and it's at the City Marina. Also, if you're in Fort Pierce, check it out there. Nice views, good food.
What's happening, man?
Come on. How are you?
Oh, how's it going?
Good, good. Thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Do y'all still, I'm sure you still have the bag of silica.
Yes, sir.
How much is it a bag?
$15.
Yeah, I need a bag of that.
All right.
Guys, just remember, if you're doing a project like this, you need a bag of this silica, because you mix it when you want to make a paste. That's what you use to make that paste with. It's basically fiberglass is all it is. Guys, this place basically has everything you need to do a project like this, from rolled fiberglass to all the different epoxies. So reach out to them, and I think they ship as well. It's time to get this stuff loaded up. See how light that is. Get on back to Polk County. So I wanted to show you what this actually looks like, this Nidacore. You see those honeycombs? It's plastic. On the side you can see it's cut, but it's extremely strong once you put the fiberglass on it. But it's very good stuff, easy to work with, and most importantly is it's super light. That's what you need. Okay, today's task is to get these windows off. I'm getting ready to start working on building the top. I've had this little bimini on here to kind of just help keep the sun and the rain out. And it's time to go to get it off, get the glass off, so I can get some measurements for how the top's going to be. You'll see I'm gonna lay the Nauticore up here, mark it, so I can get the lines I want. So it's time to get this going. Let's get it started. Okay guys, the first thing I was going to do is get that bimini out of the way, and of course that's pretty easy. Just pull out the screws and it comes right off. But the glass is actually pretty easy to get out as well. There's usually a few screws just in the bottom, and in this case there was a track, and you just pulled those screws, and then you was able to lift the glass as a piece completely out of there, as you see me doing right here. It was surprisingly easy. I left the track there because I knew that whenever we put the top on it, that we would utilize that track. Now the next thing I did was brought up a piece of the Nidacore to set it up there on top so I could scribe how the angle was. that would be next to impossible to get that angle, without doing that. So that's how I did it. I want you to notice how easy, like I carry that stuff with one hand. That's how light it is. It's an amazing product to work with, yet it gets so hard once you fiberglass it. Great, great product. So once I got the outline scribed, I took it back on the inside to get started on it. So what I did is just set up 2 pieces of 4x8 plywood to make my work tables.
Okay, I've got this set up in here now. I got to add a piece down there. I'm gonna do that in just a minute. But basically this is the bottom. So I've learned when you're doing these, you do the bottom first, whatever's gonna be your bottom, although it's gonna be symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. But whatever is gonna be your bottom, so when you flip it one time and you do the top, you don't have to flip it again, it's done. So that's very important. So I got these lines. I'm gonna cut these lines out. I'm gonna put my lines, cut this out, take this piece, put it over there, because I want it symmetrical, and then I'll get to glassing. Okay, so I got a curve here up to a line here. So I'll make a mark. You can cut this with a jigsaw, it's just plastic. Now I'll take that and flip it over, put it cut on the other side. That way I know it's symmetrical. The next thing is I got to mark, I need to add 10 inches, or excuse me, 11 inches here out, and that's where the curve, the cut is, and then I'll show you that. I got a little extra piece of Nidacore up in the rafters. I'm going to use that. This will cut very easily with a skill saw. I have a table saw that makes it easier, so of course I'd use that. But you can just run a skill saw right through it. Nauticore is plastic honeycombs, thousands of them. That's what makes it up. So it's super light. I mean, y'all see me carrying it with one hand. That's why it's such a good product. It's plastic. It's impervious to water. It'll never rot. Good stuff. That's what I want. Now I got one cut here to make. It's on the other side, and I'll bring that piece over and do the same thing. Flip it over, and I'll do that over there. Don't stress too much about it having it perfect, because as you're going to see, it's all covered, so it's not a big deal. Guys, I may have not had that on camera, so let me just show you what I've done. It was over there. That's the piece I cut off on the other side. I just flipped it over, laid it up, marked it, and cut it. All right, guys, that's my basics of the top. You can see it goes down, turns, back, across the back. It's a big top, for sure. But I got it pretty cool, figured out how we're gonna get it on the boat. I'll show you. Pretty cool. All right. So a while back I made a video and I got some input of different things that I wanted to have on my top, because I want to put wood, some reinforcing wood where that's going to be. All right, so this is the underside, and things that I wanted was rod holders, boat hook, gaff, and storage hammock possibly, which would be under the underside, which is this side. I kind of got like boat hook, anchor lights. This is really the top side here. It's showing you the solar panels where lights are going, or actually the lights are on the bottom side, but the wires are going to run on the top side. That can be done afterwards. That's no big deal one way or the other. All right, guys, this is fiberglass cloth. You can buy this at any of the Home Depot or Lowe's, or you can order it online. What I'm gonna do on this one, I did something different on the last one, but I'm gonna put this cloth about 4 inches, 8 inches wide, just to reinforce the seams. Before I ran dowels in there, but I don't believe that's necessary. I believe if you just reinforce it, it'll be fine. So we'll see. I'll be able to tell you for sure later on once it's said and done. But I basically cut it in 8-inch lengths. I'm gonna mix up my fiberglass, wet out this first, lay it on it, and then wet that out, and that's how you do it. Okay, as far as the resins go, there's two different basics, polyester and epoxy. On these applications, don't use the epoxy. That's more designed for like if you're putting in a bulkhead and it's very strong. I found it doesn't break down the fiberglass as well as these polyesters do. It basically, what the chemical reaction does is it burns the bonding agent, not burns it, it melts it, and then the glass, and the glass is left over, and that's where the strength comes from. So I'm just telling you from my experience. There's different people who argue the point. I've built one of these. For me, that's what I figured out. You just use a polyester resin. You can get them, they're actually more common anyways.
So everybody, this is probably the hardest part about doing this, is learning how to do it, how much to mix, how much hardener to put in it. Like I told you, I just do it by sight because I'm so used to doing it. I usually get about a 1/2 inch in the bottom of that pail, and you see the hardener, it comes out in drops. I probably get about 10 drops. What I'd suggest you do is try it first.
If you're unsure, don't start something like this as your first time, or if you do a test section, because if you are not careful, if you make this too hot, you won't have time to finish it. I'll tell you that. So just mix it up real good, get the hardener in there. That's what kicks it off. So just kind of lay out your fiberglass, get it centered. You want it to go all the way through and onto the board. Make sure you just get it laying down real well. You want it all the way through onto the board. The board will suck it up. So don't just pour it right on the board unless you got a ton of freaking resin. I found it's not necessary. I gotta do something here in a minute. I'm gonna first get all this wetted out. slide this up under my board. Just trying to give. How to help it. Same over there.
That board kept opening at the gap. I ran some temporary screws outside of the fiberglass into that piece of wood under there, and it did end up holding it together. So guys, I just repeated that process on all the other seams, same thing. So one of the first things I did after that was all set up is pull out those temporary screws that I had. Because now it's time to cover that entire top with fiberglass. Okay guys, I want you to know this, that I have switched over from the cloth to the mat. The mat is better for larger areas. It's actually, the fiberglass is laid in different angles, so therefore it makes it stronger.
All right, what I've done is I've overlapped it everywhere.
So guys, there's just a lot of this right here, pouring it on and wetting it out, pushing the resin down into the fiberglass. As you can see, it's just a time-consuming thing, but you just have to do it for the entire top.
This was that area. It got too hot, so I'm gonna fixing to start laying here. So I'm gonna sand some of this down so it doesn't show up so much.
So basically what happened is I put too many drops, and it kicked off too fast and made a bunch of those bumps. Went ahead and cut all the other pieces down and got the whole thing covered, as you'll be able to see, and finished wetting it all out. I got to tell you though, a little earlier I had put too much in it, but the worst thing is to not put enough. And the reason that is it will never get hard and it'll be gummy. You'll have to completely cover the whole thing. The worst case, if it kicks off too fast, you may not can use it all. So if you had to go one way or the other, make sure you got extra in there.
Guys, what I'm going to do here is some reinforcing. This section is going to have the isinglass, so I need to reinforce this so that the rail can have something good to hook to. This should be good with 2 layers of fiberglass, so that's what I'm going to do. Cut strips and just run this edge.
All glassed up.
Alright guys, this is Bondo. It's a filler. It's used on cars, but you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. And I usually, at the end, you're always going to have some areas that's not perfectly level. And you can make it as smooth as you want with this. Although this gets carpeted, so it's going to cover a lot of imperfections. But there are a couple of places where I had a mistake where it got too hot. You'll see I'm going to fill that, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I use some stuff called backing that I can cut that I have. It's cabinet backing, but any kind of hard surface you can use this on. It's pretty easy to do. What I found, it's again, it's one of them things you just kind of got to know, but I usually put little, about that much. It's hard for me to say. I never read the directions because I've done it for a while, but you'll see you need it to turn the color of whatever the hardener is, and you're going to see that in a second. But pretty much, as long as you don't get it too hot, give you time to work with it, but make sure you got enough in it. You can go through and read the direction. Again, I've done it a few times. So if you're unsure, just mix it up real good, get all the hardener throughout it. It just like when you're mixing up the resin, if you mix it too hot, it'll get hard. But the difference in this is you can feel with it pretty easily though, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So even if it started to get hot on me, I could like real quickly use it up compared to resin. But basically you just want to go over any areas that you want to tighten up. And remember, you're going to sand this, so I'm just trying to fill any voids in it. I mixed a smaller amount for my first one of this, just to kind of see if you're not sure. That's probably a wise thing to do. But your last ones, lay it down. Lay your thing down to get it to smooth out for you. That's what I do. But yeah, this is the worst area of the whole thing. But just try to smooth it out like that. Make your first 3 smaller, so you can until you learn how to mix it. All right. It helps if you ever done drywall. Mix like spreading mud is basically the same concept as that. It's a lot easier if you've done that before. You might even practice with that if you're unsure, because it's no big deal if you make a mistake. But yeah, just fill it in. The ridges will sand off. You're trying to fill any voids is what you're doing. So the carpet, it won't show, but the carpet's going to hide a lot. FYI. I just think this is easier or less expensive, and it's pretty easy to me, as you can see. See, that'll get less lines in it. Alright, this is the next day. It's hardened up. I'm fixing to run the sander over it and do the last few little fill-ins. That thing's ready for carpet. Yep, see, just a few little lines. Hit it with the belt sander, and then I'll put one more layer, and that'll be ready.
So when you're doing this, you'd probably want to use like a 60 minimum, if not a 40 grit, because you want to tear off any of those heels and anything in the way so that you're not there all day. But all you're doing is knocking off the hills. You'll come back in and fill the valleys one more time.
All right, last, just mixed up a little more. Near about the last coat, just going to fill in some of these big areas.
FYI, I usually give it a day in between each one of these. Make sure I got other projects going, just so you don't get in there and gum it up.
In all reality, it's probably good enough, but I just want to, I'm going to do a piece of test carpet on it, see how it looks in some of the areas and make sure before I cover it.
Guys, you could put many coats on there as you want, although it makes it heavier, but you could make it smooth as a baby's butt if you wanted to. But knowing it was going to get covered with carpet, that wasn't my intent.
I'm just filling in the little holes, any holes that I see right now. Okay guys, this is the final sand. I'll use a little palm sander, get these final little areas, and we're ready to cover it with the carpet. Remember, it ain't got to be perfect. The carpet will hide a ton of imperfections. Guys, it is important that you blow it off and get most of the dust off, just so your glue will stick to it. So some kind of air source or something to clean it, get the dust off of it. Well, it's time to put the carpet on it. So I'm gonna drag it over onto it, cut it roughly down, then spray it and attach it. I'll show you how to do it.
All right, the glue that I use is a Wilson Art spray grade glue. I'm not sure where you would get this in your area. You don't have to have 5 gallons. You could get probably away with a gallon of it, but it must be spray grade or it won't come through there. And the carpet, it just came from Home Depot. I like that gray. I've used it before and I use it throughout the boat. So when you're spraying, you spray one surface and the other surface. The way this works is when you spray, there's a flashing agent and it flashes off. And contact cement is nothing but rubber. When you have two parts rubber, they stick together. So you spray one surface at least 80% coverage, spray the other surface 80% coverage, and make sure you have it where you want it because it's going to stick.
While my air is building up, I want to show you, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I've talked about it, but this is an air gun that you can get at Harbor Freight, several places like that. It should only be about $29 or $39. If someone needs a video just on this, leave me comments. If I get enough comments, I'll do a video just on this. You spray the one side and then you spray this side. Alright guys, it would help if you had a couple hands. I don't have anybody here today, but I've done it a few times so I can probably handle it. But I'm basically going to try to roll it out. You try to want to usually do it from the center, that would be best. This is a big piece as you can see, so let's see what we can do with it.
All right, guys, let's see here, using the third hand to kind of reach it just so you're not up under there. But don't let it roll over on itself because it'll stick to itself. But if you take your time and roll it so you get your hand under there, you can see them will just roll right out.
Oh yeah. Roll it slowly. Push out any wrinkles. But if you let it lay flat like I did, it won't have any.
You noticed I didn't do it perfect as far as completing the top, and you don't see hardly any of those imperfections. The carpet covers it. And this angle, at an angle like this, would show it the most. When you're looking up at it, you couldn't see it.
That looks good. I don't see any imperfections in it. pull it back till you feel it tug, because you got to make sure you get all the way up to that edge. You can see where I've sprayed it. I tried to spray a little extra under it and I did pretty good. You see it coming out here, so we shouldn't have any problem getting that to hold well, because you wouldn't want to get done and then have a gap in the middle that wasn't holding properly. Guys, this is what 100% looks like. That's what's 80. You can see where you missed, but on your edge you want it as close to 100. Without it, you don't want it to build up, but that's about what you're looking for. All right guys, last one, last side. Start rolling her out. Keep them crinkles out of it, that'll mess you up. Just keep a roll in it. Get it going with crinkles, it can lay down wrong. All right guys, time for side 2. We flipped it over. I'm sorry I didn't catch it on video, but all we done is slid it out, set one side down, stood it up, laid it down, and brought it back in. It's not very heavy, of course, as I said. So there was 4 of us. One person can lift it, but it's just too bulky. So that's
Okay guys, this video has reached about the halfway point of building the top and getting it up on the boat. Y'all come on back next time. I'm going to show you how we finish this side, how we finish the edges, put the edges on it, and then how we lift it and get it up on that boat. Appreciate y'all watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. See y'all soon.